And welcome to War Thunder with Mad Kite. Today we're going to do a guide in flying the P47 Thunderbolt. So many people seem to say it's crap. Right, firstly, for right-away targets flying joystick, I'm going very close convergence. A lot of people think that different ammunition works better with other stuff. We'll take tracers just so we can see where we're shooting a bit better in this guide, and they look very, very pretty. If you want to shoot from in cockpit, by the way, you can. Now, manual engine control can very important, so that you can move yourself around in cockpit. So you can do this and have a better view to deflection shoot. But anyway, take off now. Now, basically the first thing with this aircraft is it doesn't climb terribly well. Now, if you're flying full controls, you want about 10 degrees up and about 4 degrees on the rudder, roughly, just as default. Now, actually, you'll see everyone's climbing straight towards them. We can't do that. We want to climb off to the side here, actually towards that bit there. You can climb between about 15 and 20 degrees depending on the altitude you're at. Now, one of the things with this plane, people say it overheats all the time, it has an overheat bug. Well, it doesn't. The plane should overheat after a while if you kept the radiator cowling flaps closed all the time, which the auto engine management does. So it's quite important to use manual engine management and open the cowl flaps at lower altitudes. At higher altitudes it doesn't overheat anyway, but which it should do, to be honest, if you're using more emergency power all the time. In fact, normally a lot of the aircraft would overheat just on normal power if you shut the radiators, so they haven't quite got that model. But on this you have to keep them open at lower altitudes, and then if you're in combat, unless you're in the Pacific, if you're in the Pacific for some reason, if you don't keep them open at lower altitudes you will overheat in no time. But yeah, that's one of the engine management problems. The only thing, when you get to over 8,000 metres, you need to reduce the mixture by about 5 to 10%. You usually never have to do it more than that. Anyway, you want to get up pretty high before you engage the Germans, because they're going to be really high. So you want to just keep climbing until you've got to about 7,000 metres out of the way of combat. Sometimes that means you don't get anything because everyone gets shot down or you get outnumbered, but there are other strategies you can do. As you can see, we've got 41 minutes of fuel left. The Germans usually take off with about 20 to 30, so you've got an advantage over them. You can wait until they've literally ran out of fuel.
Engaging the enemy!
And then take them on. The other thing with this aircraft, you want to keep your energy up. You need to keep it. You always want to maintain an energy advantage over the opponent. If you're not in combat, you know, open your cowl flaps, keep your engine cool, and climb. Get altitude or get height, or if you're not climbing, at least go very fast. And well, they also say it's not retaining its energy properly. It's not, perhaps not quite enough, but it is good. It is very good. I've already started. Its energy retention is very good, providing you don't get tempted to abuse its manoeuvrability at high speed. It is very manoeuvrable at high speed, but that comes at the expense of that speed. It is a very heavy plane, so to change direction quickly requires a lot of energy. There's some Yak 9s. So when you're using that speed, just only manoeuvre to try and shoot your enemy. Just do gentle manoeuvres to keep on him until you get close, and if you have to, manoeuvre hard to get guns on him. No one's climbed up that high, and this must be a combination of German, Russian again. Anyway, if we're all down low, the Germans may come down a bit lower because, well, there's no point being up at 10, unless you're waiting for them to run out of fuel, there's no point being really high. So we're going to continue climbing up. Once you start to get higher, you really want to keep the speed above about 230 kilometers an hour. You just won't climb as the air gets thinner. It gets more and more difficult for your airplane to do it. You see, I closed the cowl flaps there, and it makes almost no difference to the speed. It barely makes any difference to the speed that, when you're doing this kind of climbing. So when you're climbing like this at slow speed, trying to get the maximum climb rate, just let the aircraft go up. What are we doing? How many are dead? One is dead, two are dead on them. Oh, the Thunderbolt got killed.
A little more effort and victory will be yours.
There must be Germans on this map. Is it all Russians? Okay, well, it looks like it's all Russians, so we're going to close the radio to into combat. Now, I've been a bit rash here, assuming no one's going to be higher up, but we don't know. Now, you see, I've been weaping all the time. You're not going to get to altitude, not in this game, unless you wep constantly. The other thing you've got to remember is Germans really fast. Now you can see the dive speed on this thing is brilliant. There's loads of people on that guy. They don't need me. So we want to recover that energy with gentle manoeuvres. Keep going up. Gently level off, and we'll just carry on climbing, regaining, because you always lose some energy, regain some of that energy. I haven't seen anyone else. There must be somebody else there.
Roger that.
Everyone's down there. There's hardly anyone left. So
attacking.
Where are they? We've actually done a pretty good job in this game. P2, there must be somebody else around. Does anyone see another enemy on the map? TU2. Now that's not really what I was intending to engage, a TU2. In fact, just when we get to the Russians, I really didn't need to climb so high. Because their planes don't do well over 6,000 metres. Aisle 4.
I need support.
I'm going to cut the throttle because I don't want to be going way too fast. Look, I still haven't reached red. ahead, 850. And we're going to come in on him. See, that's really way too fast for a good attack. We're going to pull up, regain some of that altitude, but we're going to come straight around on him. Use the altitude to manoeuvre, dive on him. Like so, we're going to lead ahead a bit, because I don't want to get, I want to stay at quite a high angle on him. I'm hitting nothing. I'm not slowing down. Notice I'm not slowing down to sit on his bum, which is a suicide attack on one of these things anyway. But I'm not slowing down. There we go. We got him. I'm not slowing down. Now if that was a fighter this would have been more relevant, but I'm keeping my speed up all the time. I never slow down to engage an enemy in a dogfight and sit on this bum, because that's just going to get you killed. You might as well get some ground targets because everyone's gone. Their thing's going to disappear.
Wonderful!
But that's what you want to do. Never, in this, you want to be at the right speed to engage so you can disengage, get away and come round again. And if you haven't got enough energy to come round again properly,
Victory's ours. Let's go home.
then you need to, when you get up to altitude to disengage, you need to regain some energy and then engage again. One of the other things with the P47 is we'll perhaps deal with going into a dogfight next time if we end up in one. I haven't got a premium account, but there we go. That was part one. That's classic boom and zoom and how to engage on a normal map. So until next time, welcome to the P47 tutorial part 2. Well, not just a continuation of part 1 really. Anyway, one of the things I didn't cover is if you get stuck in a bad situation with the P47, there's various things you can do. If you've got, which you should hopefully have, still some altitude, then one of the things you can do is traces. We'll take traces again because they look pretty, and this is a video.
Pilots, your mission is to destroy the enemy's ground equipment and bases.
Now, this is one of these maps with a radiator where the engine overheats at low altitude. Now, one of the things you can do is, firstly, if you're coming head on with someone, it's not a bad idea to basically try and strafe them up. If you're going into a dogfight with someone and you're coming in on them, try and get in. You've got lots of ammo, lots of guns. You can do a bit of spray and pray and try and get some shots in. Because you're not the best dogfighter, but if you can damage the enemy aircraft a bit and reduce his ability to fight, then you've got a good chance of actually, you know, having a good dogfight. You can dogfight 109, no, what 109s, Boggle Wolves, 190s. You can dogfight them, but you can't. 109s, they can outturn you and outclimb you and out-accelerate you. Now you are very fast at all altitudes. Over 8,000 metres you actually have got as good performance as the late 109s. In this game, which you should have way better performance than the late 109s anyway. And even the Fokker Wolves are the faster than you. At about 5 to 6,000 metres you start to become pretty much on par as far as top speed goes. The only thing this plane is acceleration is poor, which is one reason I say you always have to try and retain your energy. So if you do get in a dogfight and he starts turning lots, you'll just burn all your energy if you follow the turn with him. and he's already losing energy turning. So what you can do is, instead of turning with him, you can do a high yo-yo where you pull up, so you start slowing down but you gain altitude. You turn then as you're slower at higher altitude, and then you can dive down with him. And even if he's better at manoeuvring, you can turn round and just get on him from the higher altitude. So it's a bit like a sort of almost mini zoom and boom manoeuvre on them. But it allows you to retain your energy advantage. And then if he's in a faster plane like a Wolf and tries to run, even though they've got better acceleration, because you're coming from altitude, you can dive in and catch them before they can get away. So that's another good chance. But yeah, it's always generally when you've got, I mean, like if you're in a 109 with a 30mm cannon with just a few dozen shells, then if you're going head on with someone, or if you're coming in on a very dodgy, difficult angle to hit someone on, because there are easy and hard ways to try and hit a plane, but it's how you're coming in a dogfight, and you could damage him to make him this combat effective. It's a very difficult decision whether to fire your cannon or not, because you're just wasting the very little ammo you have. But if you're in, say, one of these, you've got tons of ammo, and it's all to your advantage if you get stuck in a dogfight to try and hit them at every opportunity until they can't fight effectively anymore.
The enemy is taking the initiative.
There's a Japanese Wolf 190. So yeah, absolutely. If you're stuck in dogfights, get in first. I've won many dogfights by just strafing up the enemy as they've come into the fight, where they've either wanted to avoid head-on conflict or whatever, for whatever reason. And by doing that, just damaging them a little bit, you've... well, they're going into combat. Now this is bad, you see, he's above us. Those Spitfires are going to go in. But see, at my altitude, at this altitude, we do have similar top speeds. He can't run away from me. He can out-accelerate me and try and get away that way, but he can't run away. I'll try and get some speed up now, we'll point it in directly. This plane is fast. It takes a long time to get there, but it ain't slow. It's probably worth trying to get a bit more altitude there. Look at that zero in there. So we got a whole load here. That's Spitfires after him. There's all those other ones. They're carrying on higher. Probably worth going after some of these because they're going to slaughter our guys. Oh, he's diving in. Okay. Now this guy looks like a prime target. He's out the way. Focke-Wulf's trying to outdive the Spitfire. Not a great idea.
If we don't do something fast, the enemy will win.
I could dive on that Focke-Wulf. They're all going for that Focke-Wulf. He's coming up. That Spitfire wants to go for him. I'm going to go for him too. It's classic boom and zoom manoeuvre. You cannot ever outmanoeuvre a zero. Just couldn't even hope to. Can come straight down. Nice thing with the P47, there's no supercharger to fiddle with. Look at this, we can roll with him. Oh, but we're not going to get him, we're just going too fast. His turns, he did some good defensive manoeuvring there. We're not going to give him a chance to get in us, we've already pulled away. Now he's got a Spitfire on him. We'll have a look around before we decide to engage again. See what's going on. And then we'll perhaps go in on him again. Have another go. We're getting lower. I might open the radiator a little bit. just to keep it cool. He's dragging him down to low altitude, he's trying to get away, he's wasting his speed climbing upwards. Oh, we're going to be going too fast. Yes, we are. Nice, that very good defensive flying he put in there. All credit to that guy. I'm using my energy quite badly here. I shouldn't really be manoeuvring as much as I am, but now we're getting slower.
The enemy is winning. We're on counterattack.
Go over here, perhaps get some other targets. Notice I'm trying to climb a little bit. I want to regain some of my advantage. He's heading off that way over the carriers. This guy looks like he's outrunning the Spitfire, which gives us the opportunity to kill him. Oh no, he's coming back. He's coming back on him. Gently down. This is how you should be doing it. Gently, gently come in on him. Wait for him. He's going for someone else. It's always good when booming and zooming to try and help out other people, because you can disengage in a way they can't. Oh, there's no way I'm going to be able to get on him. I'm way too fast. Miles away. Look at this, he's gently turning and blacking out. Hello. Okay, that fucking wolf is going to be a problem. We're going to regain some altitude, perhaps have a go at him. He's doing quite well, and he's dangerous. We're going to open the radiator. We're getting down lower now, so I want to have it open 20%. Keep climbing.
We need to put more pressure on the enemy. They're winning.
We've got flak coming up at us, which isn't helpful. Hopefully we won't be taken out by flak. He's using his energy advantage in fighting that Spitfire. But I'm already on him. These fucking wolves. They're a pain. He knows I'm on him. I'm zoomed in to try and see what he's doing so I can anticipate it. Oh, and he's flying straight into the sun. He's a bastard. But I hit him. That'll do for now. That's reduced his combat effectiveness at least. Oh, he's gone straight in. What's directly ahead of him? Very tempting target going into land. This is a very dangerous manoeuvre. I'm wasting energy. But he's a tempting target. Whoa. And we'll gain up. We'll go look for that other fucker wolf. Because he is by far and away the most dangerous thing here. But that's 2 down. So we're going to keep climbing up. Watch and see where my engine overheats. We're going to get some altitude, because that guy isn't far away. He's a pain. We shouldn't have lost so much energy. He can climb much better than me at this altitude.
The enemy will win.
Wouldn't be a bad idea. Lucky. Oh, this is bad. Now this is a bad situation. This is where it doesn't matter if your engine overheats. It can't outdive him in acceleration. It can outdive him overall. We can never get this guy at the same time. Is on me. I'm flying into flak. Now he can easily keep up with my messing around. I've got nowhere to land on this map, have I? Oh, I do have an airfield. I could leg it. Engine is overheating. We might as well lead them over to my field. The airfield's that way, so.
The enemy is winning. We must counterattack.
It may be odd, I don't know, but you may need like hardly any radiator to stop the engine overheating at low altitude.
The enemy is attacking our base. We must reinforce its defenses. Your left wing.
He's shooting at me from any range he can get. He's backing off from it. Okay, we need to repair now. We're coming in to the airfield. My engine should be overheating. I've got 1% radiator open and it's not. Well, there's a bug for you guys. You can fly along quite happily. No one's following you that much. I'm going to cool it off anyway. We have an airfield over here somewhere, apparently, because my oil's going to run out. Now landing this could be fun because I've got one aileron, damaged elevators. There it is. Let's pull around this way.
We need to put more pressure on the enemy. They're winning.
Oh, and no tailplane. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is going to be difficult. This may end up a crash landing. Because I can't maneuver the plane enough. No! The bomber got the kill. That's quite funny. Oh. Oh no. Well, that was not bad for being completely outnumbered.
We suffered a defeat.
Yes,
Head
we
back
did.
to base.
But it shows how you can use the P47 very, very effectively. Until next time.